If it's happening now, we're going to deal with this right now. Profanities in the workplace, at meetings. This is very, very serious. This comes after a few days ago to where this person decided to shout the F-bomb during a city council meeting. After that, he apologized, saying, "I'm sorry for all this," and then they let him resign. That should never have allowed to happen in the first place. Never. Never should allow to happen in the first place, nor you should not be using profanity any work, any place. Period. In schools, in front of your parents, in front of your parents, at your teachers, no one. Nobody should be using profanity to anyone, period. You may think it's fun, it's not. Especially when you learn it from especially when kids learn it from parents. But in this case, they decided to let him resign after that apology. They should have said, "We understand you're sorry, but we have a policy we do not shout profanity." Like, yes, I get that. I hear these people like saying, "Oh, if you have Tourette syndrome, it's perfectly fine if you have Tourette's." It's perfectly fine, like, if you have, like, Tourette's and all. But it's a very huge issue here that people, like, hold a grudge. You shouldn't be shouting profanity, period. You should not be using profanity at a city council meeting or any other meeting, a manager's meeting, a school meeting. No meetings everywhere should they allow you to use profanity, period. And if they do, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. Because it's just not right for someone to be using harsh words. Just because the First Amendment says you have the right to free speech does not give you the right to be using profanity, period. Unless you have Tourette's syndrome. So the bottom line I'm trying to get to you is, nobody should be using harsh words, no profanity, in any workplace, nor at meetings. It's very serious here. Very, very serious. And I take these topics very seriously on the show. Like what we're going to do in our next topic. In 60 seconds, fast food fights. It's happening right now as we speak. It's going to be happening right after this video. It will happen like every time. Fast food fights will be happening unless somebody puts a stop to it. Well, that in just 60 seconds. Welcome back to the show. Glad you could stay with us. Now it's all about these fast food fights that are happening. Well, maybe because it's just the way, like, they didn't get the order right, and they did not get like the order right and stuff. That's why everyone just starts going frisk brawling and stuff. And like I always say in my videos, no one even stands up to the fights. It's all being posted on social media, YouTube for instance. Take a look at this clip. I mean, this was about months ago. Just like this. And all these videos just end up on YouTube. And it's just basically fights that are happening all over the country. Because you get the order where someone's just harassing them. That's basically true. But one of the fights that caught my attention was basically just a Whataburger, a fight that happened at Whataburger here in Texas. Just because someone basically said like they want a cheeseburger or something. That's basically right. They want the damn cheeseburger. And if you look at the video, you'll see what I'm talking about. And this is from World Star. World Star! And after that aired, this was actually on World's Dumbest. To be exact, this was actually on World's Dumbest. So as you can see from this fight, as you can see from the fight, like he got more than he bargained for. Probably towards the end of the video, bystanders were just breaking up the fight. We don't need basically any fast food restaurants starting up fights and stuff. That's how basically people can get injured in safety for the customers. And if basically someone gets the food wrong, you don't just basically throw it in their face. Which is basically what happened in this next case. This next case involves a lady who just wanted some chicken nuggets. And this was also on World's Dumbest. Let's see if I can get this right here. This was from Ohio. She wanted a big box of chicken nuggets, and she was like, well, we don't start nuggets in the morning. And it's like, I want my damn nuggets. And then all of a sudden, you're supposed to escalate like breaking windows, threatening people, like closing the window, threatening people. All these other things that are happening. It's all threats. It's It's like we don't need this happening all over this country. None of these fights should be happening anywhere in this country, in this state. No fast food company should be allowed to just continue tolerating fights, staying to not tolerate fights like this, and not allow it to happen. Stay tuned. We got more Give Me a Break right now coming up. Stay tuned. Up front tonight, underage drinking. It's happening all over the country. And some people are getting arrested for it, which is basically illegal in every state. It's a health hazard. Especially drinking fake beer, like what happened in this next case by the name of Jack Doherty, who was arrested for underage drinking. Which he had a fake beer. I mean, if you look at the video right here. It's right there, fake beer. And he was 17. That is the juvenile age. That's like basically the age where no one should be just talking to minors. Like, period. Period here. I mean, like, no one should be just talking to minors. Period. I mean, in this point of the video, like, he gets arrested. And then he's like, if this gets 50,000 likes, he'll do a part 2. And so far, this is getting close to like 50,000 likes. He only needs like 4,000 likes, and then he can just do a part 2. But we don't know if it's going to happen, and no one should be drinking under the age of 21. The new Texas state laws prohibit people from drinking under the age of 21. As a matter of fact, if you look up like all states that prohibit underage drinking, look up underage drinking. There are laws in every state that prohibit underage drinking. And this is just basically it. Nobody should just be drinking under the age of 20, under the age of like 21, 17, whatever. It's basically what your state says. If your state says that it's against the law to be drinking under the age, if the person under 21 years of age is found guilty of an alcohol violation, the person shall be fined. In addition, being assigned 8 to 12 hours community service. That's basically could be it for some people in every state, but look at the big picture here. Community service will not do a thing. Underage drinking is very, very serious. Underage smoking is very serious here. And in Jack Doherty's case, if he was guilty, then his state would have to want to assign him 8 to 12 hours of community service. And then he'd be fighting with his lawyer. Then he, his parents, and the lawyers would be fighting in court to say, you can't be, that's not going to happen because he's a very, very good kid and we trust him. But as you might expect here, but as you expect here, what people have to understand, drinking under the age of 21 is illegal. And it's a health hazard. Alcohol poisoning, it can be caused by alcohol poisoning. Like, if you drink alcohol, these are the causes. We talked about this in our last episode, to where these are the symptoms of alcohol, like slurred speech, dizziness. Drunk driving happens every time. That's why there's advertising everywhere that try to save lives. And if it doesn't help, nothing will. What is there to do? Nobody has a choice. But even if they did have a choice, no one knows what's going to happen. But moving on to the cigarette thing. It is illegal to sell tobacco products to anyone under the age of 18. No minimum age to process tobacco or smoke in public. There are no laws. It is illegal to sell or supply tobacco to a minor. Minors may not be enter any smoking room or facility where smoking is permitted by law. Cigarettes is the big deal. That's why schools ban cigarettes, and they have a no smoking rule. They don't tolerate smoking. And people may think that smoking's okay, but it's not okay to be smoking in public, nor in a public school, nor to drink alcohol in public school, which it is a violation of this state law. So I don't basically think that. I think what there needs to do, there needs to be an age limit to when people can smoke cigarettes. There's even candy cigarettes. My mom's saying, candy cigarettes. The difference, if you see, candy cigarettes are in addition to candy cigarettes can be found in any store. And candy cigarettes are candy introduced in the late 19th century, made out of chalky sugar, bubblegum, or chocolate, wrapped in paper and packaged spread to similar cigarettes. And you can find them almost anywhere. $7, $8, $2. They sell those at 7-Eleven, Specs, the Office Depot. And it can be actually addictive. But we don't know. Can you actually bring candy cigarettes to school even though it's a cigarette? No one can actually know, otherwise they could really get in trouble for that. And even if they did, I'd be the first to report it. I'd be the second to report it, along with the other media. So, the bottom line here is, underage drinking is bad, smoking is bad, drugs are bad. There is a time and place for you to do all those things. It is on your own time, when you're out of your parents' house. That is basically the only time you should be able to start smoking, drinking, or doing whatever. But we don't need this happening here. And if it did, the whole world would just go insane. Alright, coming up tomorrow on Give Me a Break, we're going to give you more latest on the COVID-19 situation. And we're gonna give you some Thanksgiving tips, what you can do this Thanksgiving, and a lot more coming up on Friday. But before we go, as always, we have to give you the very latest on COVID-19 every day here in Nueces County. Let's start by looking at the numbers. And I know, look at the numbers. We're now up to 22,000 cases as of today. 49 new cases confirmed positive. Probable cases, new cases 36. We're probably up to like 30-some, we're probably up to 30,000. One new case of deaths, 455. And hospitalized, 20,000 recovered, 29 in the hospital. And as always, you have to start wearing these masks every now and then. As I always say, as this always says, you have to keep calm and stay 6 feet apart at all times. And I've seen one person on the bus. I've seen like one person on the bus who did not wear a mask. But yo, you have to wear a mask because it's a safety issue. If you have medical conditions, it's okay. Just let them know. Maybe they don't understand. That's Give Me a Break right now for right now. That's Give Me a Break right now for now. Please continue to stay safe, positive, and always keep calm and stay 6 feet apart. Good night.